Yo, what's up? Trying to do another version of why aren't we pissed off? I just don't understand. I don't understand why America can sit back and allow all this to go on. Um, it's like one thing after another, after another, after another. I mean, come on now. The truckers do an awesome thing in Canada. It was non-violent. They poo-pooed the shit out of it. They always do. They always take anything we do and poo-poo it, and it's racism. Do you realize now if you're against our federal government, if anyone speaks out against our federal government, you're a racist? Who the fuck started that bullshit? I don't get it. I don't. You can be Black Lives Matter, kill cops, burn down businesses, block hospitals, and it's our voice needs to be heard. Floyd deserves this. This fucking Floyd, okay? I don't care what color he is, okay? He's a junkie, okay? Which, that's fine. We're all junkies, okay? That I get, okay? But we're all offered help. If you cannot get clean, that's your problem. Because the help is out there. Trust me, the help is out there, okay? They gave him numerous opportunities and breaks to get clean. It happened at the time that this cop made a mistake and shot him. He wasn't committing a crime. But he did a week before, and a week before that, and a week before that. That doesn't make it right, and the officer should pay and do his time for what he's done. I get that. But the man, they act like he shot Kennedy or something, okay? The man was a junkie that numerous times had been offered ways to get clean and refused them. He chose the life of drugs. Okay, that doesn't deserve to get him killed, but there's no reason to burn down cities and shoot cops with families over that. And this is where the sickness really gets weird, okay? That we sit back, and I want you to fathom this. We sit back and go, cop made a mistake, they're human, he fucked up. You know what we should do? We should start defunding the police. Now say that in your head, and if that sounds reasonable, you're fucking crazy, okay? More than ever do we need police, okay? And my wife is in the medical field. There is no way she's showing up to a house with a barricaded in place with a firearm and going to go try to administer medical attention to him, okay? There's a fine line between needing medical attention and needing the fucking cops, okay? And until you're in that situation, you don't know. When somebody breaks in my home, well, I'd shoot the motherfucker. But if somebody breaks in your home, okay, do you want an ambulance to come or do you want the cops to come? When they break in your home, do you say, oh, are you okay? Did you take your medicine today? No, you say, get the fuck out of my house, okay? See, this is where the human race is getting weird, like, defund the police. Okay. Let's defund the fire department, too. Fuck it, And from now on, just let the shit burn. This is the asinine shit that just goes on, and everyone sits back and just looks at it like, what is wrong with you fucking people? Our government is so... Biden and AOC and Harris, they're a bunch, compared to the presidents and the worth that we had in this country, these people are fucking jokes. Fucking jokes. How can you take a country that was as great as this country, and don't get me wrong, we've made our mistakes, we've had, and like everybody says about the slavery, that's not one of our fucking mistakes. Slavery was a bad scar on us. The whole world had slaves. The whole fucking world. The Mayas, we were the favorite. The Mayas were one of the first to have slaves, okay? The Romans had slaves. The Egyptians had slaves. The Greeks had slaves, okay? They all had slaves. They called them servants or workers, okay? They all had slaves from the beginning of time, okay? So you can't say that's a scar on us. That's a scar on the world then. It's ridiculous. Okay, they all had slaves. Now, you can't take it out of context. I wouldn't want one today, and I wouldn't want one then, but you didn't know any better. See, you know, that's like somebody walking or riding a horse. Let's say I'm riding a horse to Florida on vacation. It's a little fucking ridiculous, right? Not if there's no fucking cars. That's where slavery looks kind of a little better, when there's no fucking unemployment. Or a Craigslist, you know. And people are that fucking stupid. They look at it in today's time going, man, how the fuck could they own slaves? See, fucking bitch, they didn't have their cell phone to call. Wake the fuck up. And it's just, this goes on, and people, the newscasters put it out there, and they say it without even, if I was a fucking newscaster and I read today's news, I would flip my shit. I'd be like, what is this crap? I'm not fucking reading this shit. But they sit there day after day, and because they say it's so gullible and so fucking fluffy that we buy it, you know, and then we pass it on. So everybody's just getting fluffed. And Biden, they're like, Biden's real competent. He just, you know, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Give me a fucking hour in a room with this fucking man. I gotta fucking see this for myself. I just can't believe the bullshit that Americans buy, and they're not pissed off. They're not pissed off. You know, everything we do now, every time you're against, we should have been against the government 50 fucking years ago. The hippies had it, right? They just mixed it in with drugs. The hippie movement was a fucking great movement. You just can't fucking center a movement around fucking psychedelics. Okay? Everything the government does doesn't make any sense today. They spent billions and billions on the war on drugs. They're making every attempt possible to take flavored fucking electronic cigarettes out of every fucking store to make sure one 18-year-old kid doesn't fucking buy one. But they fucking got the whole country smoking pot. Does that make a fucking bit of sense to you? Reagan spent most of the budget that he was in office trying to stop the war on drugs, which was a big mistake. And I liked Reagan, but that was a big mistake. You know, he went above and beyond trying to stop drugs. Okay? Lost. And now, a couple decades later, marijuana is the fucking be-all, cure-all of, got a stomachache, got a backache, got foot hurt, CBD. Smoke a joint, you'll be fucking fine. Now, as a pothead, that's bullshit. Because just like any other drug, you get a tolerance. And the first time it works great, second time it works pretty good, third time it works good, fourth time it works good, fifth time, it's not working so good. By the 28,652 time, your body says, nah, I'm used to that. Let's move on to the next thing. So it's whatever. But I mean, these things don't raise questions to anybody. We just go along with it. And I almost think sometimes it's a fucking test. They're going to see how much bullshit they can cram down our throats until we go, oh, that's too much bullshit. And then they'll back off a little bit. And then slowly they'll start cramming some more shit down our throat. And then when we go, oh, that's too much, they'll back off. They're just trying to see how much fucking bullshit they can blow up our ass. How many diversions they can throw out. How many lies they can make up. They've been fucking us around for centuries. Centuries this has been going on. Now, can you imagine a government that's slightly corrupt? Say a government that's slightly corrupt in 1893, and nobody knows it. Government's got to tweak some bad seeds in there. All right? A little bit of laundering and a little bit of illegal activities and, you know, some bureaus that kind of are a little fluffed up and not really doing what they're supposed to be doing. Now take that and go 150 years in the future. And no one can stop it. And no one knows about it. And no one says anything about it. How fucked up would that government be by then? How corroded and how sick would it be? You have no idea. That's where we're at today. And it's coming to a boiling point. And the only way they can cover it up is by just fucking blatantly lying. And making us think we're nuts. And that's an 18-year-old tactic. An 18-year-old will make his parents think they're crazy because they catch him in his lies. And that's exactly what the government's doing right now. They're psychoanalyzing us, making us feel like we're second guessing ourselves because they're fucking thieves. And that's exactly what they're like. Drug addicts. They're literally like drug addicts. And that's what power is. Power and money are drugs. They're evil. They possess you. They make you do irrational and unsensible and uncaring things to other people with no regard, because you are consumed with self-centeredness. Now imagine a whole government like that. A whole government that acts like they're concerned about us, but not quite as concerned like a Nancy Pelosi. I'm very concerned about the American people, but not as much about investing in the companies that I set the policies for, which is almost like fucking, insider trading. And I'm going to leave Washington no matter what condition it's in. I'm going to leave Washington a billionaire. Now, it was never designed to be like that. Our forefathers would have never let something like that happen. Money and politics are a terrible combination. How it ever got to this, and we never stood up. We never said, whoa, I don't think that's a good idea. And now it's too late. And no one's pissed off. No one will take to the streets. No one will say, hey, I mean all of us. I don't mean one or two or a little I mean fucking 14 billion people aren't out in the street going, we've had enough. We're done. We're good. And that's a shame. That's a shame to literally be so fucking lazy that you just sit and watch your country go down the tubes and just be fed bullshit every fucking day. And I know there's a lot of good causes in the government. There's a big fucking waste of nothing in there. The FBI's been fucking fucked up for fucking 15 years. I don't know. Have they caught a criminal? Besides one they wanted to frame, have they, or a politician that they had to fucking X out because somebody pissed somebody off? Besides that, have they ever caught a criminal anymore? Did they do that? Did they do any of that? I mean, did they get anybody on the most wanted list anymore? There's none of that. Are they busting them at the border? Are they getting the kind? There's none of that. The FBI's been fucked up for years. And you want to know one of the bureaus has been fucked up even longer than that? Child services. There is something, and you got to figure, if 20, 30, 40, 60 years ago, you started infiltrating people that weren't really proper for that place, say you breeded in a little corruption, do you know how far up the scale and how much corruption has creeped into that bureau by now if no one was watching and no one was weeding it out? The whole fucking thing. You got bureaus on top of bureaus on top of bureaus that are just illegal, fucking evil fucking things, man. And no one cares. No one cares. No one makes a change. No one cleans the swamp. Trump found out. That was Trump's biggest revelation in office. This is bigger. This is what Trump came up with when he got to Washington. When he really got to Washington, he really sat behind the desk and he really started combing through things. This is bigger than we could have ever imagined. This is so bad and so deep and so intertwined that there's probably no way to fix it. That's what Trump came up with when he was in Washington. There's no way. And we're the only ones that could really make a difference. We are the only ones that could really say that's enough. But there'll be sacrifices in that. There'll be bloodshed in that. There'll be it's going to be ugly. But sometimes to come out the other side better, you have to go through hell. And we are not, as people, as a society, we are not ready for that. We need the instant gratification. We need to get through today, and we need to hang on our phones for a little while and look at Facebook. We need the instant gratification. We're not going to pay the fucking price to have long-term freedom. We're holding on to one more day. And it's going to collapse. Evil will be brought to the surface. God will be triumphant one day. I'm positive of that. Throughout history, it's always ended that way. You know? Throughout history, sooner or later, the light burns the evil. One way or another, it always has went down that way. Look at Hitler. Hitler's odds, if you were picking in a football game, Hitler would have won hands fucking down. Okay? But by some miracle, We beat them. By some miracle, we beat them. And there's always that. It's always 4th and 26. 6 seconds left on the clock. Hail Mary. And pull it out. Because that is how the ebb and flow of life is. You're not going to be evil to the core and get away with it forever. And if you do, you're going to pay someday. And, you know, it might not be in jail. It might not be on this earth. You're going to pay. Everything has an action and a reaction. Everything. There's certain things that even the government can't change, and that's the laws of the planets, the laws of physics, the laws of just Earth and the universe. You can't keep fucking stealing, lying, and being selfish and not pay the price. I just hope there's an America left when they're all fucking done. They can take their money and they can all just go right to hell with it. We should be really pissed off. I mean, fucking pissed off. And no one is. No one is. When our freedom's gone, we'll be pissed off. We'll wake up.